Welcome everyone to the 5th edition of Altibox Norway Chess. On behalf of the organizers, I'd like to express gratitude and a little bit pride with regards to that we have 10 of the 12 best or highest rated players in the world here today. To lead this press conference, we have these two young gentlemen here, Wesley and Nigel Short. They will ask some questions to the players first, and then it's open for the press afterwards to ask the same or other questions, of course.
Okay, we'll go in reverse order of rating. So my first question is to ANISH GIRI. ANISH, last year you became a father, proud father of a fine young boy, Daniel. And I wanted to ask you how these changes have affected your chess, if at all.
You know, Nigel, this was a game of chess. I would have beaten you because I saw the question coming already yesterday. And I even made up an answer, unfortunately, which I forgot. Well, definitely nothing changed on conscious level, because when I play chess, I'm thinking about the moves. But on subconscious level, of course, such a major change, and it certainly is one of the biggest changes that can happen in your life. With a positive sign to it, fortunately, is it plays a role in everything you do, in your relationship with your wife, your relationship with your family, friends, and also in your career. But I think we will have to see what it will do to my chess.
Yes, which takes us to SERGEY KARJAKIN, who is probably one of the most famous chess players in Norway. Not only because he was the opponent of Magnus Carlsen at the recent World Championship match, but also because he was the winner of the first two Norway chess tournaments in 2013 and 2014. SERGEY holds a 100% score in this tournament. He was absent for various reasons in numbers 3 and 4. You already qualified for next year, SERGEY. So in a way, this year is a bit of an empty year. Is winning this strongest tournament of the year and keeping the 100% score your main ambition in this year?
Yes, that would be perfect, but I just want to play a good tournament and show good chess, and I'm not thinking about third place so much. I just want to get fun and play well, yes, and then we'll see. But of course, if I would have a chance, of course, I want to try to catch those first place.
But doesn't occupy a special place?
Yeah, I mean, that would be completely special if I win. That would be fantastic, but first time concentrating on my chess.
So now I would like to ask Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru recently did a very interesting interview on Bloomberg when you were talking about options trading. And I wanted to ask you, there are two main schools of thought that the skills you require to become a top chess player are transferable into other fields. The other view is that chess players are a bunch of morons and they only play chess because they can't do anything else. Yourself accepted, how do you view this situation?
All right, that's an interesting question. I think the first thing that I would say is that I think if you were to ask any of us up here if we're geniuses, I think we all would say that we're not. So I think there's a certain aura around chess players in that you assume we're all geniuses because we're so great. at what we do. And while there are benefits and certainly ways in which you can transfer skills, there is no, you can't just transfer from one field to another and be great at anything. It always requires a lot of hard work. But that being said, in order to get to this level as a chess player, you have to study a lot. You have to face a lot of adversity, winning and losing games, and especially losing, because there are periods where you don't improve, and getting over that hump and continuing to improve and get to the top, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, and a lot of inner fortitude and strength. And I think from that standpoint, when you look at things, you know, whether it's finance or you know, certain other things like medicine or science as well, you have to have a certain strength within yourself to keep going and trying to improve no matter what the field is. So there are benefits, but there is not, I would not say there's a direct correlation at all. It's you next, right? Or no, sorry, it's a long granted that it's not you.
Which takes us to VISWANATHAN. I mean, for the moment I'm only getting players who have been playing World Championship matches against Magnus Carlsen. After you lost the second one, Fishy, then people predictably said, well, isn't it time to end your career? Although there was no real reason to do that because your results were so magnificent. And you said, why would I quit something that I enjoy doing so much? Then I think here we have a tournament with the 10 best players in the world, where it's maybe difficult to think of enjoying it when every day you play a big test, when every day there's such a formidable opponent. How can you enjoy a tournament like this?
Okay, that's quite easy. You enjoy it if you do well. I think that's clear. But part of it is about the meaning to your life. I find that playing chess games, you know, is the most intense, engaging activity I can do, and it's the thing that I'm best at. And so that's the most fulfilling. And I think in that sense, playing here is a very, very nice way to challenge yourself. But like I said, I enjoy it very well.
Yeah.
So the next question is for Fabiano Caruana. And Fabi, I would like to ask you, you're here obviously in immensely strong tournament, the strongest tournament of the year. But you're also part of the largest contingent here, contingent of American players. Is there a tournament within a tournament?
Well, I'd say that there's a pretty big rivalry right now in American chess. We have a lot of very strong players. We have top 3 players in the top 10 in the world. And the U.S. Chess Championship has now become probably, if not the strongest, that is one of the strongest national championships in the world. So there's always in each tournament that there's some sort of rivalry, especially since we're all very close to rating, probably about a 20-point difference at most. But whenever I play a tournament, I'm not really thinking about individual players. I'm more thinking about the tournament as a whole and trying to win it. I mean, you know, performing better than certain players doesn't matter if other players are performing better than you.
For the next question, which is for Maxime VACHIER-LAGRAVE here from France, I got a bit of input from...
Doesn't matter, sorry.
Okay, I got a little bit of input from Nigel, because Nigel not only lives in Athens in Greece, but he also has a flat in London. And he revealed to me that Maxime is actually the strongest chess player ever to sleep on the sofa of his London flat. Which I think is quite an achievement. But besides that, you have other achievements, and one of them is that you're one of the few players who've been over 2,800, this magical barrier. Only 13 players have been there. Now you've dropped slightly below, and I wanted to know from you, how special is it to be up there? And how important is it for you to get back there? Is this perhaps a good tournament to do that?
Well, I think it's much more important to win tournaments and to cross this sort of barrier. Of course, it means something, but I mean, the better you play, the better your results are, and your rating gets bigger and bigger. Actually, my coach prefers when I'm on the lower side of 2800 because it's a rating that means something. I mean, that's what he says. Like, we can say MVL 95 or 96, but MVL 02 or 03 doesn't mean anything to him.
Yeah. But you would like to go back to be the first 2800 player to sleep on the sofa in London.
I was not 2800 back then, so I need to do that to be able for Nigel to press a run mark.
Just for him.
Well, move orders are very important in chess, and I got my move order wrong. I was meant to ask Levon a question first, so apologies. I'll ask him now. Levon, you are coming into this tournament in great form. You had a fantastic result at the KRAMNIK Chess Classic, coming ahead of Magnus. Is form something you can take with you, or is it, are you only as good as your next game?
I think generally chess, as any other sport, goes. I mean, there are certain strikes that you're on fire or you're not. I think I'm in a good form, so I look forward to playing my best. But a lot depends on the way you start the tournament generally. And then you start feeling that you can build from there. So I look forward to start the tournament well and then see what happens.
So now to this corner, to Vladimir KRAMNIK, number 3 in the world, former world champion. Some of you may remember that last year I was trying to explain that whenever Vladimir is telling you that how old he is and how soon he's going to die, then don't believe him because he's doing very well. But at the same time, you're the one who keeps feeling this because occasionally you say, well, I'm not going to play that long anymore, and don't be surprised if at some point I quit. But you're number 3 in the world. You got invited to all strong tournaments this year. I mean, you had to decline a fair number. How do you do that?
Well, starting with declining, that's easy. I send an email and that's it. Concerning my age, well, frankly, some 10 years ago I was sure that I would not play after 40. Not because, actually I like it, I enjoy it, but, well, I was pretty sure that I'm going to degrade by that time, be not able to fight with the best players on equal terms. And then I'm not sure I would be so interested, actually, because, once you've been on the very top, and I think playing in some kind of be number 30 in the world or something, I doubt I would continue in such case. So, to my big surprise, I'm still keeping well, quite high position on rating, managing to fight on equal terms with all the gentlemen around, well, at least before this tournament, I don't know what will happen here, but actually I'm surprised, I have to admit I didn't expect it, and now I still believe that, pretty soon I will not manage, but who knows, maybe it will go on and on. But of course, in general, I like chess, I enjoy playing chess, and as long as I will keep this pleasure, of actually playing a game of chess, and the level that I am not ashamed of, I will keep on playing. Well, my guess would be another 2 years, max, but who knows?
Okay, you can make your bets now.
Okay, next question is for Wesley So, and I'm very pleased to be asking this question because I'm from a family of Wesleyans. So, but we'll talk about Christianity on another occasion. Wesley, you've had a fantastic run in the last year. Singfield Cup, the Olympiad, winning the London Chess Classic, winning the Tata Steel Tournament ahead of Magnus. You are number 2 in the world. You are 20 points behind the world champion. Professor Arpad Elo said that 20 rating points was a statistically insignificant difference. When you speak about Magnus Carlsen, you speak in very reverential terms, as though he's on another level altogether. Considering your fantastic results in the last year, isn't this false modesty?
Well, it's not false modesty because, first of all, Magnus has been around for a really long time, much longer than me. I mean, he's been world champion since 2013, and back in 2013 I was barely in the top 30 in the world. And also, the number 2 ranking doesn't really mean much because ranking changes by the day now, these days. And also when Arpad Elo said that was many years ago.
The system is still the same.
Yeah, also I think the rating's a bit more inflated now than before. So I think the difference of 20 points back then is maybe smaller than 20 points right now. Because back in the 70s, there was only one player who was above 2,700, but now there are 50 players who are above 2,700. But I think the secret of chess is consistency, the ability to be able to do well in a daily basis, and in order to have the same status as Magnus, I think a player has to be very consistent for a long time.
Now that we're speaking about Magnus, it's a good moment to ask a question to the person without whom this tournament would probably never have existed, Magnus Carlsen. Magnus is still world champion, he's still in number 1 spot in the world. So he's doing fine, but he's also one of the great champions who sees not winning a tournament as a defeat, and the last 2 tournaments he didn't win. So I think you must be extremely motivated for this tournament, Magnus. And did you do anything special to get yourself in the right mood? Did you say specific things to yourself? And you can, there's no censorship, you can say anything.
No, I've had a training camp with some of my regular training partners before this. It's obviously a great motivation to play here at home against. You could argue that all the best players in the world. I know that not all of them are top 10, but those who are the 2 who are not here who are top 10 are relative newcomers. So I think it's an excellent field, and obviously I haven't played much and I haven't really gotten going at all since the World Championship. I have I think 3 second places and a third, which is not what I aim for. And my level of play hasn't been good either.
I think this is the first time also to say something about the strength of the tournament and also my drop-in rating is that it's the first time like ever I'm only expected to score +1, which is nice. But I'm very motivated. I hope to show my best, but and it will be a pleasure and a challenge to play each day.
And what is the most apt qualification that you give yourself if you're not doing fine? What do you? I mean, is there a Norwegian word for that? Or?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, then, because you're Magnus Carlsen, you get 2 questions. Nigel was very insistent he wanted to ask you one.
That's for your sins for being the world champion. You get a second question. Magnus, a couple of years ago, you bought Tesla, despite not having a driving license. I wanted to ask you how you got here to this tournament, and did you drive yourself?
No. I mean, the Tesla was mostly for my father anyway. He'd been wanting a Tesla for years. He's one of those who used to think that Apple was his religion, that he found Tesla and found out that he was wrong. No, I was driven here by my father, and Peter was also there, so it was a very nice road trip. Peter, by the way, also doesn't have a license, so it's not only me. Well, it's a very nice scenic drive from Oslo, and you don't have the stress of airports and such. So whenever we can, we like to drive to Thomas.
So that finishes the questions to the players from our side. I think in general, what I feel is that they are still too modest about the lineup of the tournament, mentioning that maybe 2 players are not in the top 10. But let's not forget that when the invitations were sent out for this tournament, it was the top 10. So what?
Also 1 month ago.
Yeah. So what better? I mean, how can you do better than that? I mean, you cannot invite someone on the eve of the tournament and say, can you come tomorrow? So I think this is going to be a fantastic tournament, and definitely the strongest in the world in 2017. And I'm sure that many of the journalists will have questions too. So if anyone wants to ask a question, that's possible. You raise your hand, I'll find you.
Oh, let me just start. Okay. On behalf of the spectators and public, a little bit word question. I don't know who will answer, but it is a challenge to everyone here, because when Magnus is expected a +1, we are all know that this will be a high-level tournament. But what about the value of the spectators and the winning strikes and the winning attempts? How will you try to win more games in such a tournament like this? Who can say something about the secrets of trying to win games for themselves and for the public?
You got any preference? Who should answer this?
If I should need, maybe I should ask somebody from the younger computer generation. Maybe ANISH GIRI from the computer generation. How to say anything more?
I think they're all fairly young. I think we all are fairly young. Here's Anish.
My role is pretty clear. There's no pressure, so I'll just watch my colleagues and learn. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes it's not necessarily the lineup. I mean, sometimes you have Ludwig Hammer playing, and everybody hopes to beat him. You know. The other day you have a top tournament like this, and before you know, some very strong player can be the Ludwig Hammer of that tournament. Doesn't necessarily have to be Norwegian. And we've seen many times players of this caliber ending on -3, -4. losing games in a row, 4 games in a row. So I think it seems that everybody's good, but after a couple of rounds, we'll find our losers. I hope that's not going to be me.
Anyone else wants to add to this? Hikaru, I think this is one of your favorite subjects. You want to say something about this?
I wasn't planning to. But yeah, I think, like Anish said, I mean, everyone here is obviously very strong, but somehow I would say in every tournament, no one is always on form. But at the same time, I think for me at least, the only other tournament I've played that's comparable to this is the candidates tournament, because when you look at the tournaments, usually there are like 1 or 2 players who by rating are much weaker, so you always know you're going to have some chances or something later on in the event. But I think everyone you just try and play solid. You don't do anything crazy, and especially if +1's good enough for Magnus to, I guess, gain rating points, then it speaks a lot about I think how everyone's going to play this tournament, and with everyone so close in rating, it'll be fun. But I don't think anyone's going to do crazy things, at least not at the start.
Thank you. We still have 1 or 2 minutes, or let's say 1 or 2 questions. Any further questions from you? Very good.
Hi. From the young to the old, my question is to KRAMNIK. And you keep on saying that you might be too old to continue playing. Is that a strategy so the other players might see you as an underdog when you're really not?
You're asking for this yourself.
No, it's not a strategy. Actually, I don't know how the players feel playing against me. They never told me so. They never told me this. I guess some they are, pretty happy about it and waiting for some blunder from me. Some maybe they're a bit worried. I don't know really. But I'm just telling what I think. But frankly, when I start to play my game, I forget about my age and I forget about everything. Just play a game, and sometimes maybe I shouldn't forget, but I do anyway. So once I start to play, okay, I play with full strength, with full energy, and actually in quite many tournaments lately, strangely enough, I'm playing more moves than anyone else, like in Shankir or last Dortmund. In fact, I'm playing very long games, which I know it's not to my advantage, but I still cannot stop myself. So once I play, I forget about everything, also about how strong are my opponents, just perform the game. But no, I'm not trying to make my opponents relax before playing me. I mean, they know very well my strong and weak points anyway, so I'm not going to confuse anyone here,
Okay.
Well, great that Vladimir finally provided some evidence saying that he forgets about everything during the game. That's a sign of age. And maybe, well, we still have time for 1 question, so that 1 question that you wanted to ask so desperately when you came here, who's going to ask it? All right. Then we're on schedule, Joran.
There were some people.
Ah, wait.
Question to Sergey. How has life changed since New York?
Yeah, actually it changed a lot, because now I have a lot of attention of press and a lot of meetings, and a lot of everything, and I gained some new sponsors also. Basically, it's nice because much more people in Russia now speaks about chess, and it's very good for me personally and for chess also. So I'm quite happy about this.
Very good. Thank you very much. So that was the press conference. Joran, you want to add something? Shall I?
No, I just want to continue with the reception now.
We continue with the reception.
Will be started by listening to the mayor of Sola municipality, Mr. Ole Ureland. Please come forward.
Dear players, fans of chess, Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to welcome you all to Sola and to the 5th annual Altibox Norway Chess Tournament. This is actually the first time that these tournaments have some activity here in Sola. And together with the rest of the Stavanger region, we are proud supporters and hosts of this tournament. Sola is situated in the heart of the Stavanger region, with the North Sea as our closest neighbor, as you can see from the beautiful view. We are international oriented, and we are a part of a closely knitted together region with a strong and long-lasting tradition for cooperation. About 26,000 people live in Sola, and we are also home of great businesses and industry. We are proud of our beautiful nature, dominated by beaches and the historical Hafrsfjord, where Norway was unified into one kingdom in the day of Harald Fairhair around year 872. So Sola has a rich history dating back to the Viking Age. In this very area, the local Viking king Erling Skjalgsson had his farm. He was a very powerful man at the time, and he fought many great battles. Today, and in the days to come, we will again witness battle between kings. But now it's all about the game of chess. And it's all about Altibox Norway Chess, who has managed to gather the world's top best rated player this year. And in that manner, we are also creating history here today, and that makes us very proud. We are in for a treat, and we are very excited to welcome you all. In recent years, chess has gained new popularity in Norway, especially among children and the younger population. Magnus Carlsen, our very own world champion, and tournaments like this can take the credit for the increasing popularity of the game. The Norway Chess School Tournament has been also an important contribution to this, and several of our schools are participating. So, events like this, they do not make themselves. There are hours and hours of planning and hard work, both in preparation and facilitation of events like this. So I would like to thank everyone who had use of their time and resources, so that we today, and in the days to come, can experience excellent chess. Thank you all. The best of luck to you all. May the best players win.
Okay, now we have approximately 55 minutes until the tournament starts. To the players, please be present at your table for board 5 minutes to half, or 6:25. Now we can all relax and enjoy some